Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Christian Caudle, and I'm excited to talk with you about a vital aspect of early childhood education: how the development of speaking and listening skills in young children significantly impacts their reading and writing abilities. Understanding this connection will empower us as educators to support our students more effectively throughout their literacy journey. Now, let's begin by looking at the typical development of listening and speaking skills in children from birth through preschool. From birth to 12 months, babies respond to sound and start cooing and babbling. At around 1 or 2 years, they begin to build their vocabulary to about 50 words and start forming two-word phrases. As they move into the 2 to 3 year old range, vocabulary expands dramatically, often reaching around 300 words, and children begin expressing themselves in simple sentences. By 3 to 4 years, they understand basic grammar and can tell simple stories while engaging in basic conversation. Finally, by 4 to 5 years old, their vocabulary can explode to about 1,500 words, allowing them to express ideas clearly and participate in meaningful discussions. Now, let's shift our focus to children in kindergarten through third grade. In kindergarten, you'll observe that children start using full sentences, their storytelling becomes more complex, and they begin using descriptive language. As a kindergarten teacher, I've noticed that children are more subjective to reading and writing what they need to say. So by grade 1 to 3, they are using more complex sentence structures, explaining ideas in detail and learning to effectively listen for information and follow multi-step directions. However, it is important to recognize the impact of language delays. Children with language delays may struggle to express their ideas and follow instructions, which can create barriers to their learning. Research has shown that these delays can lead to challenges in literacy skills, particularly in phonemic awareness and vocabulary development. Without ample opportunities to practice speaking and listening, these children might fall behind in their reading and writing skills. This brings us to the influence of listening and speaking development on reading and writing skills. Strong listening and speaking abilities are foundational to reading comprehension and writing fluency. When children have rich conversations and expand their vocabulary through speaking, it enhances their ability to understand what they read. Likewise, the phonological awareness gained through speaking helps to solidify their writing skills. So, how can we foster these essential listening and speaking skills in our classroom? Glad you asked. Here are some effective strategies. Number 1, interactive read alouds. Engage children in discussion about the story as you read. Number 2, role playing and dramatization. Encourage children to express their thoughts through character, imitation, and more. Also, puppets while you're reading stories do help while you're reading to expand their minds. Number 3, use of music and rhyme. Incorporate songs and rhymes in the classroom to promote phonemic awareness. I particularly use in my classroom the curriculum Heggerty. It is a 15-minute workshop that we do every day in the morning to expand their phonemic awareness skills. Number 4, storytelling sessions. Organize opportunities for oral storytelling to build both vocabulary and narrative skills. One way that I try to expand my students, their narrative skills is to first start off in the morning. As soon as we get there, I ask them how they're doing. They tell me about their night before. And normally it's a long, drawn out story, and they're able to expand their imagination, and I'm able to get into their little minds. Storytelling sessions organize opportunities for oral storytelling to build vocabulary and narrative skills. These strategies can help create an environment when children feel comfortable communicating. Collaborative learning plays a crucial role in developing listening and speaking skills. When students work together, they engage in meaningful interactions that enhance their communication abilities. Group discussions and collaborative tasks not only build confidence but also create a community of learners where children learn from one another. In your classroom, it is important to create a partner system. For example, whenever me and my students are in whole group session, I always tell them to turn to your neighbor and speak to your neighbor. Then I'll tell them to speak to their neighbor on the other side so that they can actually build a group, a community, and also get an idea of what each other is thinking. You'll be surprised of where their little minds go. Now, let's briefly discuss the effects of dyslexia. Children with dyslexia may have difficulty processing sounds, which can impact their listening and speaking skills. To support these students, we can implement strategies such as multisensory learning techniques, utilize visual, auditory, and kinesthetic approaches to enhance learning, explicit vocabulary instruction, focus on directly teaching vocabulary to build a robust foundation. By using these strategies, we can help our students with dyslexia thrive in their listening and speaking development. Also, building anchor charts in your classroom, hanging them up all through your classroom so that the children can reflect back on what they've learned throughout the day. If it's letters, if it's about the story, if it's about grammar, or anything having to do with the lesson that you plan, anchor charts are your best friends, especially with those of that have dyslexia. To wrap up, the link between listening, speaking, reading, and writing is undeniable. By understanding and supporting this connection, we can empower our students to become confident communicators. To wrap up, the link between listening, speaking, and reading and writing is undeniable. By understanding the supporting this connection, we can empower our students to become confident communicators and proficient readers and writers. Thank you for your attention today. I hope this information inspires you to implement these strategies in your classroom. Let's make sure every child has the opportunity to develop these crucial skills. I'd be happy to answer any questions now.